we are looking at matrices 2 with gum-try. So today we are looking at scalar multiplication. What is a scalar? So when we have a scalar, what happens is this. Let's have an example. I can have a matrix 3 by 16, 4, 22, 11, 2, 9. So this 3 that is outside there, this 3 that is outside, that's my scalar. That is the scalar that is going to multiply each and every element that is inside. So we have 3 times 16, we get a value. 3 times 4, we get a value. Let's do that. Okay. So we'll write and have 3 times 16, and we have 3 times 11. 3 times 11, we have 3 times 4, 3 times 2, 3 times 22, 3 times 9. Then we get a value. So at the end of the day, we will have 48, 33, 12, 6, 66, 27. So that's how we do when we have scalar multiplication. Let's move on. So I've got another example where we have an example of an equation of matrices and we want to find the value of x and y. This is my example. I have got 5 as a scalar, 1, 0, 2 minus 1. That's a square matrix minus w, x, y, and z is equal to 3 multiplying by 3, 4 minus 1, and a 7. So I've got a scalar at the other side. So what happens here is this. We first of all, before we do anything, we multiply our scalars inside. We multiply and get the values. We put our scalar inside so that we have a square matrix, a 2 by 2 matrix here without a scalar, a 2 by 2 matrix here without a scalar. Let's do that. Okay, let's do that. So if we multiply, we are going to get here 5 by 1, 5 by 2, 5 by 0, 5 by minus 1, minus w, x, y, and z, and get on the other side we've got 3 by 3, we've got 3 by 4, we've got 3 by minus 1, we've got 3 by 7. Okay, so that's what we have on this other side. Now we get the values of this. If we multiply, what do we get at the end of the day? We will get on the first matrix we will get 5, 0, 10 minus 5 minus w, x, y, and z is equal to 9, 12 minus 3, 21, like that. Now for us to get the values, they asked us to find the value of x and y. So this is our x here and our y. So we are going to use corresponding values of x and y. So this is what we are going to do. For x, I'll mark it in red. I'm going to take 10 minus x is equal to 12. So I have 10 minus x is equal to 12. Then I'll take for y. Y is on the first point is 0 minus y is equal to minus 3. So I have 0 minus y is equal to minus 3. Okay, so from the second one, we can easily find the value of y and x. So our values of x and y becomes, from those equations, the first one, our value of x becomes x is equals to minus 2, and our y is equal to 3. So that's how we calculate. Let's see if we have another example. Okay, now we are going to look at multiplication. When you do multiplication, how do you know that you are now doing a multiplication? There is an issue of order matrix that we are going to look at. That's where we introduce that in matrix 1. So let's say we have got an example of 2 by 3 matrix that is multiplying by a 3 by 2 matrix. So in this case, we want to see if this matrix is possible for us to multiply. So before we even multiply, we have to check the orders. So if these numbers at the center, these 3 by 3, they are the same, it means it's doable. We can multiply. An example is this one. An example is, let me have an example. An example is 18, 0, 31, 10, 2, 16, multiplying by 1, 3, 2, 1. This is doable. Okay, so once we multiply that, what is our final answer? What do we get? So normally what happens is the final answer will be a 2 by 2 matrix. It's going to be a 2 by 2 matrix we get from those extreme ends there. That's the answer that we should get. So maybe we should have another example. Let me have another example of checking our orders. So I have another example. I've got a 3 by 2 matrix multiplying by a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, let's have a 2 by 2 matrix. So because we have got a 2 by 2 at the end, at the center there, it means it's doable. We can multiply, and our answer is going to be a 3 by 2 matrix. That's our answer. Okay, so we are just checking that. Let's look at our example, the previous question that we did, the previous example that I gave you of 18, 0. Let me write it down there. Okay, so I've got 18, 0, 31, 10, 2, 16. It's multiplying by 1, 3, 2, 1, like this. And we said it's doable. Now, how do we multiply? What we are going to do in this case, we are going to multiply row by column. That's how we are going to do. We are going to multiply this row. It's going to multiply by this column. That's how we're going to do it. So we are going to consider that. So in this case, if I take this as an example, I'll have 18 by 1 plus 10 by 3. That's how we'll be doing it. And we'll be getting a value at that point, at this point. We said it's going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So we will get a value at this point. Okay, that's how we do it. So let's finish it off and see what we get. Okay, so we are going to write what we will multiply each and every item. So I'll have 18 times 1 plus 10 by 3. That's the first item. Then I've got 0 times 1 plus 2 times 3. I'm putting brackets because they help us. Then the bottom, I've got 31 times 1 plus 31 times 1 plus 16 times 3. Then on the other side, I've got 18. So it's like what you do on the first item, you do on the second one. What I did was multiplying the first row by this column. The first row, I was multiplying the first row by this column. Then I get the end, the position there. Then I do for the next one, next row by this column. I do next row by this column. Then I go to the next one. So this is going to be a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, then I do for the next row by this column, row by this column again, row by this column. So that's how I'm doing this. Okay, so at the end of the day, on this point, looking at the first row by column, I'll have 18 times 2 plus 10 times 1, like that. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So let me finish off. I will have here 18 times 2 plus 10 times 1. Okay, then on the other one, below I've got 0 times 2 plus 2 times 1. Okay, then the last one, I've got 31 times 2 plus 16 times 1. Okay, so that's the thing there. That's what we have. Now I'm now simplifying for every item there. What do I get? I will get first one, I've got 18 plus 13, 0 plus 6, 31 plus 48. On the other side, I've got 36 plus 19, 0 plus 2, 62 plus 16. Now the final thing that I'll get at the end of the day is I'll get 48, 6, 79. Then I'll get 55, 2, and a 78 here. So this is the final solution. Okay, so I want you to do these practice questions, and please don't forget that we said every row will be multiplying each column before